Well, hi there, friends. My name is Grace, and this is the beginning of a new chapter in my lifelong battle with weight. I'm going to give you a little disclaimer. I took some notes down. I wanted to organize my thoughts, and I wanted to make sure that I covered everything I wanted to say and I didn't leave something out. So if you see me looking up and down, I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I tell you the whole story right the first time. Over my 38 years, I've tried just about everything to lose weight. Diets, Atkins, South Beach, keto, Mediterranean, laxatives, medication, calorie counting, calorie logging, extreme workouts. I've probably done them all, honestly. Now, I've lost significant weight three times in my life so far. In high school, I lost 40 pounds in 1 month because I fell in love with a boy from a popular band that I would have never met. But for some reason, that worked and I lost weight. It was not healthy. I actually didn't even get my period the next month because my weight loss was so drastic and I was eating so horribly. Now, in my early 20s, I became an exercise addict. I was working out for hours each day and logging every single calorie that I ate. I did build a lot of muscle. It was probably the leanest that I ever was, but it was my obsession with working out and looking better than the next girl was just not healthy. After having my son, I lost 70 pounds on keto. And although I did feel great on keto, and I really did look really good, according to me, I didn't realize all the high fat foods were crushing my cholesterol. Now, each time the weight came back. Within a year, I was right back to where I started. Then came my daughter, almost 3 years ago, and I haven't lost any of the pregnancy weight since. And now things are different. My latest blood work showed I had insulin resistance, prediabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. My doctor asked me a simple but powerful question. She said, Grace, do you need a tool to help with weight loss? At first, I said, I think about it. I didn't act on it. I didn't want to take the easy way out, right? As some people might call it. But this January, I saw a picture of myself that shook me. I didn't recognize the woman staring back. I'd had enough. That was the moment. My doctor submitted a prior authorization, and I was approved for a GLP-1 medication, more specifically Zepbound. On Tuesday, February 25th of 2025, I took my very first injection of 2.5. Everything changed. Like many others, I felt a shift. I was constantly hungry. I wasn't constantly hungry. Let me rephrase. Like many others, I felt a shift. I was not constantly hungry. I could eat smaller portions and feel satisfied. Most importantly, though, I stopped thinking about food all day long. And I really mean all day long. I would go to sleep thinking about what I was going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner the next day. If I saw an ad, I had to go and get that food item, almost immediately. Nothing was satiating me, nothing was satisfying. And this medicine really acted on all of those things. This is the start of my GLP-1 weight loss journey, backed by medication, movement, and mindfulness. I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds and reclaim my health. If you're on a similar path or just curious, I'd invite you to walk this road with me. Subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Let's hold each other accountable and grow stronger together. Now, some stats, because you're probably wondering. I started this journey at 265.4 pounds. 265.4. And I'm currently heading into my 12th injection this Thursday, May 15th. My current weight as of Thursday, May 8th, last Thursday, every Thursday is my injection and weigh-in day. I was at 252 pounds exactly. So I've been able to lose a little bit over 13 pounds in 11 weeks, which is fantastic. For the first 8 weeks, I was on 2.5 milligrams. I've been working on titrating as slowly as possible. I then titrated up to 5 milligrams, and now I am on my third week of that specific dose. Because of my insurance, I had to get my 5 milligram filled for a 3 month subscription. So, of course, I intend to be on that prescription for at least 12 weeks before I move on to 7.5 if needed. But now we know, because these medications have been out there for a little while now, that you don't have to go up every single month. You can stay on the medication, any specific dose, as long as it's working for you. You're feeling good and you're losing weight. Some of my most recent measurements at the beginning of the journey, my stomach was at 50 inches, hips measured in at 60 inches, and my chest measured in at 47 inches. I believe I do have an initial body image of what my body looked like. I am going to make sure that I try to include that to give you some reference. As far as my side effects go, I've experienced a lot of burping, a lot of belching, a lot of it. Not so for burps. I don't think I've gone through that yet, and I hear the horror stories about that. I haven't had that, but I just burp and belch a lot. I definitely do have some indigestion, and that only happens if I overeat. I find out my husband is catching me on that, and when he can see that I am overeating, and he's very sensitive about that. He'll remind me, last night, how are you feeling? When you had a little bit extra. And I remember immediately I wasn't feeling so good and I slept horrible, so maybe I should stop. I have had constipation and occasional diarrhea. But after my 10th injection, probably came my worst side effect. I developed a rash near the injection site. Now, it was a localized rash, but what was interesting about it was that the rash not only happened around my injection site, but it also happened and developed in the same exact area on the opposite leg. That particular week, I got injected on my thigh, my left thigh, and I got the same exact rash, same size, on my right leg. Even my provider did not understand how that happened. But to be safe, this week, I'm going to be seeing an allergist to rule out any allergic reactions to, more than likely, one of the inactive ingredients is Zepbound. I believe there's 4 or 5 of them. I'm going to try to include a photo here of the rash so you can see what I'm referring to. I want to stay on the medication long term, even after I reach my 100-pound weight loss goal. So it's important that I figure this out now so I can titrate up safely. Health is important to me and I want to be around and I want to be here. So I want to make sure that if I can continue the medication is because my providers believe it is safe for me and the benefits outweigh the risk. Overall, I'm still feeling really encouraged by eating less. I'm not constantly thinking about food and I'm more mindful of how I move my body and what I put into it. I took 2 cruises on this medication so far, and both times I have exercised multiple times in the gym. Now, mind you, I've taken over 50 cruises in my lifetime. My husband and I love to cruise a lot. We never once went to the gym, not even to look at it. But over the last 3 months that I've been on the medication, we've gone on 2 cruises, and both times I've made it a purpose to go to the gym and work out multiple times throughout my trip. That's because of the medication. This journey isn't about the scale, it's about regaining my health, energy, and confidence 1 week at a time. I hope that you'll join me and really help keep me accountable. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified. Terrified that my channel won't perform the way that I hope it will, scared of the judgment that I'm going to receive, and anxious about the what ifs of this weight loss journey. What if I fail? What if things don't go as planned? What if I'm not losing weight? What if there's a stall? But I'm pushing through that fear because I want to build something real. I want to create a space where we can motivate each other, share our ups and downs, and remind each other that progress is a journey, not a destination. I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be either, but I hope you'll join me and we can support each other every step of the way. Together, we can show up for ourselves no matter where we are on our journeys. And if you are on one of these weight loss journeys, whether it be on the GLP-1 medications or not, I hope you'll share with me and tell me how your process is going. If you're on your own journey, let's support each other. Like, comment any questions you may have, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss the next update. Just remember, we're doing this together.